collect donations and give them to our local food banks. I'm guessing the local demand is pretty high these days. Yeah, it's incredible. We've seen roughly a 110% increase in food bank demand over the last 10 years, a staggering increase. It's more than doubled actually since 2019. This year is worse than last, about 7% worse than last year, as food becomes more and more expensive, which all coincides with Tuesday's 10-year anniversary of the Liberal government. It will be exactly 10 years ago that this Liberal government was sworn into power. This Liberal finance minister, of course, was part of that government from the very start. Most of the Liberal cabinet ministers and caucus members were there back in 2015, and they all made a promise that if they ran little deficits, that they would have big investments. Well, here we are, and what had happened as a result? They doubled the national debt. They doubled the cost of housing. They doubled food bank lineups. And investment, well, it collapsed, dropping 11%, the biggest drop in Canadian history and the biggest drop in the G7. In other words, deficits reduce investment. And now I ask the question, are you better off than you were 7 months ago when Mark Carney took office? Well, he's doubled the deficits, inflation has gone up, food bank lineups have grown, home building is down, and we have the worst economy in the G7. I came to him in good faith, in a spirit of hope, and offered ideas for an affordable budget and an affordable life. I said, Mr. Carney, why don't we get rid of the industrial carbon tax on home builders and farmers so that we can have affordable food and houses, on our steel, aluminum, and cement producers so that they can compete in this trade war? He said no. In fact, he wants to accelerate industrial carbon tax increases, which will drive up inflation further and drive more jobs out of our country. That is the cost of Carney. I said, let's cut taxes on work, investment, energy, and home building. He said no. He wants to raise those taxes. That's the cost of Carney. I said that Mr. Carney should keep his promise and spend less, and that's a quote, spend less than Justin Trudeau. He said no. He wants to double Trudeau's deficits and keep on spending, driving inflation and the cost of living even higher. That is the cost of Carney. No compromise for Mr. Carney whatsoever to make for an affordable budget and an affordable life.
Question on the budget. Don Davies, the NDP interim leader, said today that one option for the party is that they might abstain. The Bloc said they are ruling that out as an option. For Conservative MPs, is abstention an option on the budget vote?
Well, before I answer that, you live around here as well, don't you? Used to. Oh, used to. You're not in Stittsville anymore. Okay. I didn't have to leave. The reality is that we're going to show up and do our jobs to fight for an affordable budget. We'll be there on Tuesday to see what the government puts in. We don't need a higher cost of living through a higher costed budget. We need an affordable budget for affordable lives for all Canadians, and that's what we're going to be fighting for. But I can't tell you any more than that till I see the thing.